welcome everyone. Happy Halloween again. I'm here with our final tutorial on setting your table. This is going to be a Halloween tablescape, and as you can see in our first tutorial, we have already suspended our flying Harry Potter inspired candles and our two bell jar butterfly displays, which will be used in this tablescape as well. And today I will take you through the planning behind choosing your tablescape. Black, orange, yellow, those are sort of the classic colors for Halloween. I chose a classic Gothic jacquard damask inspired velvet tablecloth. I'm just going to raise it up a little bit for you to appreciate. It's a little bit see-through. Has kind of a nice depth and dimension to it because the pattern itself is raised. That's what I started off with. This is approximately an 8-foot table. You have to think about how many guests you're going to have. 8-foot table sits 4 people on each side comfortably, plus you have the 2 edge seats, so that would be 10 people. If you have more, you need to add extra tables. 6-foot tables sit 6 to 8 people. We are having 8 people for dinner for Halloween. This is a perfect size table for this, and I already set the tablecloth, and I have these beautiful gold painted laurel leaf garlands. Each one is 8 foot long, and I have 2 of them because I like the idea of the sides cascading. It becomes this beautiful runner that just goes along the length of the table. I'll find the center of the table. I always use my panel molding as a way to guide me. The table is set so centered to that, and then everything that I am doing on the table is also set from that point. Do take your time to unravel all the leaves on whatever piece you're using, just to make sure that everything is spread out evenly and is aesthetically pleasing to your eye. As always, I will have inspiration or similar pieces if I can't find the exact same ones that I was using. So I'll create a shop list for you to help you if you need any of these items for your own home decor. And what I love about these specific garlands is that you can make a wreath out of them. They're extremely versatile, and they can be used for any occasion, not just Halloween or Thanksgiving, or I can just imagine using them for Christmas decorating. Here, what I intend to do is place my floral arrangement. We could put the skeleton head floral arrangement that we've done in the previous tutorial. I'll link all of the tutorials again in the description so you have access to them. If you don't have anything to place in the center, we can combine this a little bit closer together, disguise the little loops there, and it just becomes like one fluid piece. So the next piece that I want to place will be here. I'm trying to do it in a way that is quite even. And also think about the placement of anything across, because people are sitting, you might want to even use a chair just to test it out, but approximately if a person's sitting here, the eye level is here. That's why, if you recall, even during the tutorial about the height of the candles, it was so that there's no obstruction in view. Same thing with your floral arrangement. Floral arrangement is nice to place in the center because here you'll have people sitting side by side, so their shoulders will be touching, and again, the view is not obstructed because this will be placed in between their shoulders. It's kind of like in theater. When you're sitting, you'll notice that the seats are all staggered, and that way everybody gets a view in between shoulders. Same thing here. These guys, our little jars, will be placed in a similar way. I imagine that I'm going to have a person sitting here, and their shoulders meet here. So this gets pushed over just a little bit like that. The next step would be charger plates. I absolutely love charger plates and I highly recommend them. They are a beautiful decorative element. They, instead of a place setting or a place mat, they create framework for all of your plates and the food, and it just makes the place setting so much more special. They are a little bit larger. They range anywhere from about 12 inches up to 14, but be mindful of the width of your table. Standard dining room tables tend to have a width of about 40 to 45 inches wide. So that's this way, which is great. It allows you room for centerpieces. It allows you room for your charger plates. Your charger plates, 12 and 12, that's 24 inches. And then you have centerpiece another 12 inches. So it's a nice real estate space to work with. But if you are renting tables, like the banquet tables that you get from a party supply store or a party rental place, they tend to be about 30 inches wide. So if you're having centerpieces, you might have to forego on the chargers because there's usually not enough room. Or you might use centerpieces that are a lot smaller, like little bud vases, or you push your centerpieces away from chargers. But just keep that in mind because how much space you have will allow you either more decor or less decor. These gorgeous pieces are from Florence, Italy. They are called Florentine plates. And I will be using these. They also have the classic black and gold colors, the signature colors that we're going with. Spacing is key. You want to space everything out evenly. I start off at the edge, or you can try again to gauge it from the center on, but today I start off at the edge. I love that pop of color. The gold really, I think, stands out on the black. They're so contrasty. All right, so now even spacing. Here we are. Yes, I'm very particular. I will sometimes use a ruler, even though it's not Downton Abbey here. Be mindful of your ornament. You know, little details like this, they create unity and continuity. You don't want things sort of turned haphazardly. All of your ornaments should align, they should reflect one another, should be of mirror image. That way there's a coherence to it, and kind of a peaceful, aesthetically pleasing coherence. These wonderfully Halloween themed plates I had purchased at HomeSense, which in the United States is like a Home Goods or a TJ Maxx. They're very reasonably priced. I believe I paid roughly about $6 for the dinner plates and $4 for the salad plates. These will be used for our dinner. So something where you can make the choice of how are you serving dinner. If you're having a family style dinner, if you're bringing out your food onto the table, the garland and the centerpieces might be too much. You might have just one centerpiece and the rest of your table will be filled with food. And the food will be passed along and your plates can therefore be set right away, just like that, on the place settings. In my case, sometimes I prefer buffet meals. That way it gives me the leisure and the ability to really decorate my table. I just find food doesn't get as cold when it's served in a buffet. We have heat warmers or chafing dishes. And this way people go, they get their own food, and the plates in that case will be stacked on the buffet table beside the food. And then when guests come to the dining table, they just see the beautiful charger place settings. You can really embellish them with name tags, personalized name tags, little gifts, little favors. If you want to do something special for your guests, that's also an option. Perhaps a tutorial on how to do little guest favors. We can do that at some point as well. Leave a comment, let me know. I would be glad to do that for you. But just for the sake of this, since I'm setting everything up and I want you to get a full idea of how the table will look, I will set everything up. Dinner plates and salad plates. Think about how many courses you're gonna have as well. I think that's an important aspect that some hosts or hostesses don't consider. For example, are you having a salad? Do you need that salad plate on top, or are you just having one meal? You're just having family style meal, you might just need your dinner plate, and save your salad plates because they're a little bit small, they're about 8 inches in diameter. Save those for dessert. That way you don't have to just have too many plates and it's chaotic. That also goes for your flatware as well. If you're doing a very formal dinner, wedding or an engagement style, brunch or dinner, your flatware has to coincide with the number of meals that you're serving. If there is a salad and a dinner entree, you will have a salad fork and a dinner fork, a salad knife and a dinner knife. If there is a soup component to it, there has to be a spoon provided. If it's a less formal dinner where you just require about one plate or people can refill the same plate, you will get away with just doing your fork and your knife, and of course a spoon if that's required. So for example, you might need a bowl if your pasta it has a lot of sauce in it. A plate might not work. And also if it's a longer pasta like linguine or fettuccine or spaghetti, it's really good to provide a spoon. All of these little details, be aware what you serve is just as important as how you decorate your table. When it all comes together and it looks so phenomenal, I don't know, something is so pleasing to the eye, I find. Makes me happy, brings me joy. And of course, I love to share that with my guests. That's the biggest joy, is seeing your guests. When you step away, you look at this setting, this still life, this tableau you've created, and your guests are interacting with one another. They're interacting with the beauty that you've created on the table. They're having this moment. And you looking in, at least for me, when I look in at the setting, I feel the best joy. This is why, for me, decor is so important, because it brings together people you love. Friends, family. Forks to the left, knives to the right. People sometimes need to be reminded, but that is the appropriate way. And most importantly, when we get to the knives, one little mistake that people do make, and I am also a person who's made that error several times in the beginning before becoming more avid at place settings and table decor. But when I started out hosting, I made this error as well. The proper direction of the blade has to be facing the side or the edge of the plate. So just like that. Of course, gold cutlery to accent all of the gold just made sense to me. A little bit more modern, stainless steel with gold. These are stunning. I have been hunting for this set for a while. They are vintage Noritake. They're called ebony, I believe. Gold rim, black glass. I mean, it's absolutely perfect in terms of the stylistic design in this aesthetic. Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, classified ads, those are the best places to get them. Also, antique malls. If you love to look at flea markets, these little finds, sometimes they just pop up. And I have actually 2 sets of these, but I've been hunting for them for a while. I found them and I'm quite content. These are set to the right. of the place setting. Remember that the most important part of being a good host or hostess is to ensure that your guests have ease, that they don't want for anything. You are predicting what they may require, like a drink when they first enter your home. It's very nice to offer a drink. It helps to relax the nerves a little bit. I think not everybody is very social or comfortable, and especially if it's a party where people don't know one another. It's a nice way for people to, it's just to break the ice. And that also goes sometimes for some icebreaker games that allow people to learn a little bit about each other. And it also allows them to speak to one another and to get to know one another. That's pretty much the table setting. I really, really hope that you've enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. And if you love this content and you want more, subscribe, like. I'm here for you guys.